Seths, and I am interviewing Harold Finkelstein.
That's me. Hi, I'm Harold Finkelstein. I'm Seth's grandpa.
What did your city look like when you were a child?
Well, I was born and raised in New York City, so it's a big city, lots of people. And it was crowded. There was a lot of people there. And my mom rented house for us, apartments for us, and we lived in several different ones. And so it was just lots of people and lots of things going on back then.
How has it changed?
Well, I've had a chance to see some of the areas I grew up in, but it's funny when you look back, when you're raised, you think things are a lot bigger, but when you go back and check them later on, houses, apartments, everything else is a lot smaller than I remember.
When you were a child?
New York City. I lived in Manhattan and then in Whitestone, Flushing, Queens, all over the areas there in New York City.
What were your favorite activities as a child?
Staying alive. Let's see. Ever since I can remember, ever since I was a little child, I remember I always liked to build things. So I used to go to the lumber yards, and back then you could pick up all kinds of little small pieces of lumber that they had cut for people. And people wanted the big pieces, and they would throw away all these little pieces. So I would go and get all these little pieces of wood, and I'd bring it back home, and I'd build things. And one time I was building a go-kart, not with a motor, but a go-kart that you could steer with rope and a 2x4, and you'd sit on it and you'd roll down a hill. And there's just all kinds of little things I would build. So I enjoyed doing that.
What were some of the toys you played with?
Toys. Let's see. That was back a little before toys were invented. I was so old, but I remember playing with like Lego blocks and other things that Lincoln logs and other things that I could build things with. I had an erector set where we put metal pieces together and build all kinds of structures. So I guess I grew up building things.
Nowadays we have telephones.
I heard about those.
Cell phones, computers.
Yeah, we didn't have those back then.
How did you communicate?
Well, let's see. We would talk to people that were nearby, and the people that were far away, we would drive to see them. Like my mom would take me sometimes to see her mom and dad, and we actually got in a car. They had cars back then, and we would actually talk to them. I don't remember even ever using a phone when I was growing up. I don't remember even having a phone in the house. I know I'm pretty old. Yes, my mom finally bought a car, not when I was real young, because when I was real young, she used to take trains to go to work and things like that. But I remember when I was a teenager, she knew a car salesman, and she went to him and said, I need to have a car, and I can't afford a whole bunch. And the first car she ever bought was a Corvair 500. That was a little car that had an engine in the back, instead of a trunk in the back and an engine in the front. It was a Corvair. I got to drive that when I got my license.
Did you go on vacations as a child?
Oh, there was one. There was one time when I was a teenager that we went up to northern New York and stayed at a resort for a few days. But that was it.
How did you travel to places that were far away?
With a car. And then when I was, about 9th grade, I took a plane going to Florida because I was going to Miami Military Academy. And so I took a plane to get there.
Transportation change.
Well, it seems like now everybody's got cars. I mean, when we raised our family, all the kids had cars. We bought them cars. But back then when I was growing up, it was rare to have young people that had cars that I knew. It was only parents that would have cars.
Thank you for your time.
No problem. Glad to do it. Good job. Good job. Good.
Thank you, Dad.
Sure.